What's up everyone, CountBlagorath here with an album review, this time of the 2012 self-release of Severing Soul from Flesh from Dire Omen. If you are not familiar with Dire Omen, they are a three-piece blackened death metal band hailing from Canada, and they play an awesome sound of black metal and death metal done in its purest form and done in a very genuine way. I'm going to just go right off the bat and say this. If you're a fan of Pseudogod, strap in, you're going to love this. If you're a fan of, let's say, Revenge, sort of war metal almost, you'll like this, except for it's like war metal but more mature, I guess you could say. It's got a very dark sound to it. This is one of the dingiest sounding records I've ever heard, and that's a great thing. The riffs are just very straightforward, perfect blend of black metal and death metal. Is it the most original blend? No. But what are they doing is they're taking these two styles that are pretty much stylistically drastically different. Death metal is more about the crunch. Black metal is more about the vibe and the atmosphere. They somehow managed to have a lot of bottom end, especially thanks to the production of the album and especially the mix. The mix definitely helps with that. But when it comes to the actual guitar sound, this has got a very good blend for black and death metal. A lot of the riffs include that very eerie sort of black metal chord that everyone knows and loves. And they have a lot of almost Cannibal Corpse-esque riffing, I noticed, which is kind of a strange thing to hear in black and death metal, but it's very refreshing to hear instead of it just being this straight-up wall of noise. Very good stuff. The riffs are chaotic. There's some very good work on all ends of the guitar. Just great stuff all around. When it comes to the bass is actually pretty dominant in the mix, and that's a great thing, especially for black and death metal. As I said, I feel like a lot of black and death metal just kind of comes across as ingenuine and they don't really mix it well. This is some great stuff. The bass is loud in the mix, but it's not drowning everything out. It adds enough impact to the death metal moments, and it kind of keeps a little bit of the atmosphere from the black metal side of things as well. And that's another really good thing about this, is the bass work isn't just kind of thrown at the wayside and they're just like, it's just something to make it sound a little bit more full. They pretty much utilize it to its fullest extent, which is a great thing to hear, since, in my opinion, a lot of black and death metal is kind of immature sounding and they just haphazardly just threw it together, and it's pretty terrible a lot of times. I mean, I enjoy some bands, like, as I said, I love Pseudogod. These guys are pretty much the Canadian Pseudogod. Great stuff, though. When it comes to the drums, very chaotic drum work, extremely fast, but it's not constantly blasting. There's a lot of very good creative drum beats in context of what the guitar is doing. There's a very good duality of sorts with some of the more slower drums, the faster sounding riffs, etc. Just overall, it's very good sounding, and especially from a sonic standpoint, the drums sound very good. I think the kick drum should have been just a tiny bit louder, but it still has a very good punch to it. It doesn't have a click. It's not annoying sounding. And everything about the drums just genuinely sounds good. And that's a great thing to hear, because I am tired of crappy sounding drums on these independent releases from all these black metal bands and death metal bands, especially black and death metal. Tends to have a very piss poor drum sound, and this sounds damn good, I must say. Vocal wise, the vocals are very powerful, and that's another thing that bothers me in a lot of black and death metal, is they're so focused on either one side of the spectrum. They kind of neglect having just a powerful voice. And having a powerful voice, for me personally at least, as a vocalist and as a reviewer, that can make or break an album. And the vocals are very powerful. So very good low guttural vocals, but they're not guttural to the point of being annoying. Just check out Pseudogod. They're a lot like that when it comes to the vocal style. The highs are very good, very high pitch, but nothing too bad. It just sounds very good and very genuine. When it comes to this as an overall EP, it's very short, but it's very good. What it provides you with is just a quick shot of pure Blackened death metal in its absolute purest form and in its best form. Personally, as I said, I find a lot of Blackened death metal to be very mediocre, and this is a great change of pace for that. This is just a really good album. It's not the most original material in the world, but what they're doing is they're taking a style that's already existing and just making it damn good. And I recommend you check them out and pick this up, especially buy this. I know there's a cassette version that you can get on Nuclear War now. That's relatively cheap. I'm not too sure about the CDs, but they're very well made. I love the finish on the disc, I must say. It has a very soft, silvery sort of look, and I like that a lot. But yeah, great packaging, very professional. Love the album cover. I do not really know who did this. Art and layout by Tim Greco. If I said your name wrong, I'm sorry, dude. But he did a phenomenal job on this. Great stuff. That's just, what you're seeing there is really fitting towards the music. So I encourage you all to buy this. It's very, very good. This will give you, if you're craving good Blackened death metal, this will definitely satisfy your craving. Especially if you don't want to listen to the same bands over and over again. This will give you another one to check out. And I highly recommend you do so. Support these guys. They deserve your support 100%. For a score, I'm going to give this a very solid 8 out of 10. Worth your money. It's worth your time. Check it out. All the links I can find will be in the description, so go support them. And that's it, everyone. Solid 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, keep it metal.